Hello, this is Yolanda McMullen. I am doing my interview with John Lenore. He is my father. Introduce yourself, Daddy.
My name is John W. Lenore Jr.,
When were you born?
August 3rd, 1944.
And where were you born?
I was born in McMullen, Mississippi.
And how did you arrive in Illinois?
My dad and my mom came, and I followed afterwards to get a job working at General Motors.
And how many siblings do you have?
I have two, John III and Yolanda.
That's children. How many siblings? Sisters and brothers.
Sisters and brothers, I have six
Sisters?
sisters
Is that right?
and one deceased.
Okay. Okay. And where did you work? What did you do for a living?
I came here to work for General Motors and I didn't get on. I went to Magnavox. I worked at Magnavox for 4 years, and they left and went back to Indiana, and I chose not to go. And I went to the University of Illinois, Department of Microbiology.
Did you like it?
Yes, that was my favorite subject in school, so
Science was your favorite subject?
yes.
Okay. Okay. So you developed a drug habit. When did you develop that?
I developed a drug habit just selling. Then I tried it, and I liked it, and I became my best customer.
And what was your drug of choice?
My drug of choice was cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Then I injured myself lifting weights, and I had a so-called friend introduce me to heroin to kill the pain, and you only have to do it twice to develop a habit. So I had a mobile habit, cocaine and heroin.
Okay. Okay. How much do you think you spent on that a day?
$800 a day.
How long were you addicted?
About 12 years.
12 years total?
Yes.
And what was that like for you?
After going to prison and losing my family, it was total loss.
What do you regret the most out of all of it? Outside of having the habit itself and losing your family, is there anything personally that affected you, like physically, or do you feel like it affected your mental?
It affected me mentally because I wanted to do drugs to try and kill the pain of
Mm-hmm.
losing my family. But I found out that didn't work. I just needed counseling.
So you initially started it because you just out of recreation, and
Yes.
then it progressed on
Progressed to a habit, uncontrollable.
How old were you?
38.
38. Okay. So what eventually led you to kick the habit?
Going to prison and losing my family.
And how did you do that?
Losing my family, I got involved with other females, and
No, I mean, how did you eventually overcome it, or is it a day?
I went for counseling. I went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to a place called Teen Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
To help with addiction.
And how long were you there?
2 years.
Okay.
I was in the program for a year. Then they asked me to stay to be a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
So the new incoming.
So you enjoyed that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you end up back in Illinois?
I ended up back in Illinois because I found out they had a drug our church was starting to rehab, and I thought I could be of help to them. And I was for a while, just recently, about a year ago.
So since COVID.
Yes.
And how does that program help you? Do you still find it beneficial to work with the...
It not only helped me, but it helped the individual. It kept me focused on what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then I could easily recognize what the young man was coming in, because I had been there before.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally, out that they couldn't pull the wool over my eyes because I had been there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's the best counsel that you could have is to have been there yourself.
Mm-hmm. To experience it.
Experience it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's easy to sit down and read a book, but to have been there yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you can easily detect what's,
Mm-hmm.
and I could tell the drug of choice.
Just by talking to them?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So how many people do you think that that have benefited from your experience?
Oh, gee. Numerous guys.
Do you talk about it when you're out now, or do you...
Oh, once in a while when I see some of them, they were out of state, and some were here, and I see them.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about it, yes.
And so how do you deal with, like, do you find yourself sometimes going back to that, or how do you struggle now with it? Like,
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know the consequences and
Mm-hmm.
have other means.
And how do you think it affected your physical, your body?
It has an effect on it
Mm-hmm.
because it the heroin messes with your bones.
So you think that the cocaine use was one portion of it, and then the heroin had another effect?
Yes, the cocaine has a mental effect, and heroin has a physical
Mm-hmm.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put them together, mix them together, oh, you're raging.
Do you think that your background in working at the university affected that, or do you not think it had any? Do you think it had any bearing, or that you understood the repercussions of it, or do you don't think it had anything to do with it
It
at all?
had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always said that my dad was an alcoholic, my granddad,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something I said I'd never be. In order to make more money, that's what I did. I got a job at the liquor store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it just got out of control.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Yes, I would like to say that you got to get help if you have an addiction. If you have a mental problem or a physical, drug is not the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Counseling would be the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to people that's been there before.
Yep, I agree. All right, that concludes our interview. Thank you, Daddy.
Be $5.